Good morning, students, and welcome to another English lesson. You can see how different trees look during different seasons. Looking at the pictures from left to right, we see a fully flowering tree slowly losing its leaves and becoming bare. From right to left, we see the tree bereft of leaves, slowly getting its leaves and getting back to its glory. We will learn more about the mysteries of nature in the lesson The Alchemy of Nature. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. The first stanza from the poem Auguries of Innocence by William Blake. Auguries meaning signs or omens, signs of something that's going to change in nature. Now, we begin the lesson, The Alchemy of Nature, with a stanza from a poem by William Blake. Something as tiny as a grain of sand can spark off an idea or imagination of a huge significance to the world. One can witness and experience the beauty of heaven in something as small as a wild flower and derive joy forever. Only one should have the eyes and time to see it. Infinity is endless space, but your small palm can hold the destiny of earth through your efforts. Eternity is endless time, but just an hour in your life can make a difference to the world forever. Great deeds can surpass the limits of time and space. They never die. All this is before the lesson, The Alchemy of Nature. Trying to make you understand that something as tiny as a grain of sand can give the world its greatest idea. Something like a wild flower can give us a heaven like experience. The destiny of the world could be in the little palm of your hand, and an hour of your life could make a big difference. We instinctively turn to outdoor activities, and nature has a way of relaxing and enhancing our well being. Nature soothes and nurtures. Nature fulfills and motivates. Nature whispers and commands. Are you listening? So the author tells us that when we are stressed out, we turn to outdoor activities and we go to nature. And nature has this way of improving the quality of our well being. It soothes or calms down, it cares for and protects us. Nature fulfills us, it motivates us to do better things. Nature whispers certain things to us, and nature commands us to do things. You know, the author asks us, are we listening to nature's whispers and commands? When I do, it leaves me in complete awe. We have a hibiscus plant in our garden. Every fortnight, a flower blooms on it, big, bright, and tender. Through the day, it smiles with the sun and dances with the wind. But as evening approaches, it starts wilting. The morning after, it withers completely, and by evening, it falls and becomes one with earth again. The flower comes to life only for a day, and yet it does so in full splendor. What if we too lived our life, however short, to its fullest? Here in this verse, in this paragraph, the author asks us another question. However short our life is, shouldn't we live it to the fullest? And he gives us an example of the hibiscus flower. which comes to life only for one day. And in that one day, it smiles with the sun, dances with the wind, but at the end of the day, by evening, it starts wilting, then it withers and falls to the ground. So, in that one day, it lives life to its fullest. Shouldn't we do the same with our lives? We went to a rocky beach and saw the spread of the majestic ocean and the rocks alongside, carved, sculpted, and shaped by the water. Water is so gentle, rock so hard. Yet, as the water flows over it every day for years, the rock gives in. It takes the shape that the water commands. So the author says that he has gone to a rocky beach. He sees the majestic, impressive, huge, awesome ocean and sees the rocks by the side. And he sees that all those rocks have been carved or shaped by the water. Water is so gentle, but every day it lashes over those rocks. And finally, those hard rocks, they give up and they take the shape that water commands it to take. Our problems are so colossal and we are so small, yet if we persist, we saw small bits of grass peeping through small cracks in a concrete pavement. It left us thinking, however impossible things may look, there is always an opening. Some more advice by the author. Our problems are so huge, yet we should persist. Do not give up. Some problems are small problems, we get over them. But even if the problem is colossal, that is huge, very big, if we persist, we will find a way to overcome them. Like grass coming through concrete, the pavement footpath, you will see grass coming out from there. Now, if grass can grow in concrete pavement, then what can we say about our lives? Nothing will be impossible. There is always an opening, always a solution. We saw a tree bare of all leaves in the cold winter months. We thought its chapter was over. But 3 months passed, spring set in, and the tree was back to its green majesty once again, full of leaves, flowers, birds, and life. What if we too had the conviction that however difficult things are right now, it will not remain so forever? Remember, this too shall pass. Again, the author tells us that difficult things don't remain forever. They are definitely going to pass. So don't be impatient. Don't give up on life. Just like the tree whose leaves fall off and we think, okay, the tree is going to die. Its chapter is over. But then in spring, it gets back its leaves, birds, the branches, the flowers, everything comes back. So, however difficult things seem at the moment, we should have the firm belief or the conviction that they are going to get better after some time. We saw an army of ants lugging a fly which was at least 10 times the ant size. The ants organized themselves around the fly, lifted it on frail feelers, and carried it to quite a distance. Their teamwork and perseverance were impressive. What if we too are consistent, organized, focused? Spider webs are delicate yet very strong, and a rainbow colors the entire sky. So, you have seen ants, tiny little ants, when they want to carry something that's 10 times their size. They get together, they lift it up, it will fall down again, but they don't give up. They have their teamwork, their perseverance, And finally, you'll find them lifting that fly, which is so much bigger than them, and taking it to wherever they want to store it for food later. In the same way, spider webs look so delicate, but they are actually very strong and they catch insects. And a rainbow, it colors the entire sky. The small little rainbow in the sky colors the entire sky. Oysters take in a grain of sand, they open up with a pearl. Innumerable stars shine across the infinite sky. Clouds take new shapes with every passing moment. The wind makes trees dance with unhindered passion. Water, without hint of ego, changes its form according to the dictates of sun and the wind. So, the shells or the oysters, one grain of sand, and you can get a pearl, a precious stone. Then, this infinite sky, we find it being lit up by innumerable stars. Another thing is how, wonder of nature is how clouds take new shapes with every passing moment. Of you watching them, they will be changing shape. The wind makes trees dance, with passion. The trees will be just dancing according to the wind. They don't worry about who's watching and what's happening. They just dance with the wind. Water has no ego like human beings. And water changes its shape according to the sun when it evaporates and the wind when it comes down as rain. When we see a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, a flower turn into a fruit, we experience the alchemy of nature. We touch it and become gold ourselves. By the author Raksha Vanadia. So finally, she says, when we see a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, something as ugly as a caterpillar turning into a beautiful butterfly, a flower turning into a fruit, then we experience the alchemy of nature. Alchemy was, something in chemistry years ago where scientists were trying to turn every metal into gold. Okay, they didn't succeed, but that was the effort at that time. But the author tells us that we don't need that gold. When we see all these beautiful things, these mysterious things happening in nature, and we are part of it, we become gold ourselves. And that explains the word alchemy. Alchemy, an ancient forerunner of chemistry, about attempts to convert base metals into gold. In this lesson, alchemy refers to mysterious, magical process of transforming things. And in medieval alchemy years ago, they had the four elements: fire, air, water, and earth.